I gotta say, guys, the urge to strike like a shocked or like surprised pose when the camera like flashes onto me is so strong, like all of the time. I think about it almost every single time that we do this. And I'm like, Jen, you might want to dial it back a little bit. But I think I'm feeling like I'm entering a phase in my life where I'm just gonna do it. I'm going to watch my language because YouTube does not like my strong language. Uh, but the thumbnail for those videos is going to be so great if I just started all of these with like a. It would be so good. Good morning, witches. Uh, there's so much going on today. I know I say that every time I start these. Uh, this is supposed to be a live divination ceremony, but I'm totally hijacking it and going rogue for a minute because I do what I want. And here we are. I have a captive audience. So much going on today. There is a very good reason why I am not wearing makeup right now. Which I wear makeup because I don't get the opportunity to wear makeup very often because I live on an 80-acre homestead in rural New England. Like, what am I going to be dressing up for, right? So I'm taking advantage of the opportunity. But today, I'm going to be slathered in sunscreen and tick repellent and like trudging through the woods gathering supplies for our hugelkultur beds that we are making to grow food in on the homestead. So, and I'm also going to be pruning these ancient blueberry bushes. Like they've probably been, this is a 200-year-old homestead. So there are fruit trees here that are like hundreds of years old. And they need love. Like everything needs love and attention. So we're trying to do that and inviting a bunch of witches to Weird Brook to come and do that with us. And it's amazing. That's what I'm doing today. And I do not want to deal with like makeup and hair, like fluffy hair, while I am doing that. So, and that's what I'm doing directly after we are done with this divination ceremony where we are asking, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? And just so you know, I got a video kind of popping off on the Clock app, a call out for neurodivergent black sheep cycle breakers who are fracking done being forced to participate in a system that is dependent on the subjugation of others. So I put this like big call out. So if you are here from that, hi. I'm so glad that you were brave enough to like follow the breadcrumb trail to here. We genuinely and sincerely want to connect with you. We genuinely and sincerely are invested in your practice already. So, hi. Okay. I'm going to do what I do to get my system prepared for divination, meaning taking a moment to get my mind, body, and spirit all in one place, and then calling in my spiritual homies and creating a sacred bubble, essentially, circle to do divination so that I can get the clearest message possible. And you are going to be a part of this divination ceremony as much as you want to. You will see that there will be witches putting cards in the comments that they are drawing because I am pulling for the collective, and you are able to dial that into your personal flow by pulling cards for yourself as well. It is incredibly validating when we start pulling either the same cards or complementing cards. We need that validation to be reminded that we are a lot more connected than we have been made to believe. I only read for witches. I don't read for the general population. I only work with witches. I am not available to the general population. So, this space is curated for your expansion. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments. There are lots of witches all up in here that are uh, able to either answer your question or direct you to additional information. Okay. I am a Taurus sun and a Gemini rising, just so y'all know. Leo moon. Life is grand in my world right now. Stim if you need to. Get the crunchies out of your shoulders. I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and CPTSD, so I'm always like braced. And just a rolling of your shoulders helps so much. I humbly invite all that is fire within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is air within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is earth within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all this water within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I beckon to this system. May we now align as one. For my cousins are the elements, and so the moon and sun. I call to those who love me. You are welcome in this space. For our nature is united, sharing magic, life, and grace. Now, a declaration of intention. I choose now in this moment to align with my whole self, to pull the book that tells my story from its place upon the shelf. I enter now this circle made of trust and hope and power, and I show up for my practice in this place and at this hour, because I am home. Someone asked me the other day why, when I do the declaration of intention and when I do the incantations for group ritual, when I do it in a group ritual setting, because I facilitate a lot of group and public rituals, why I say I and not we, right? Why do if I'm doing this, if I'm facilitating a great, big, huge ritual with a bunch of people, why am I not saying we? And it's because I want it to be very fracking strange for someone to speak for you. You are perfectly capable of speaking for yourself. Even though I'm facilitating, I have no authority to speak for you. You are welcome to say the incantation along with me, but that is your choice. And I believe that choice is sacred. That's why I say I and not we. It's important to me. I get that question a lot. Sometimes I do things so that you ask questions. And I love that you asked that question. This particular ceremony, I start with fire because of the flow of the ritual. It's a beginning. my practice is rooted in shadow, and starting with fire, um, I believe that it is my birthright as a black sheep cycle breaking descendant of colonizers to be burning some shit down. And so fire plays a really big part in my practice, right? We start with the light, the illumination on the things that I need to adjust within so that I'm not perpetuating the problematic behavior of my ancestors, my recent ancestors. So that is a very short reason why I start with fire when I'm doing this particular ritual and most rituals. Okay. And another reason is because I maybe it's my PDA profile of autism or but I don't like being told what to do. And anyone who's like, you have to start with this element every single time, no exceptions, I bristle at that. And so by starting with fire, starting somewhere that isn't normal or considered normal, starting somewhere that is more personal, uh, is kind of a, I guess, proof that you can do it the way that feels important to you. And if anyone tries to tell you that you can't, I'm here to tell you. Will it influence your practice if you start with different elements? Yes. Yes, it will. It has influence. And once you cultivate a relationship with the elements, you get to decide that because it's about your relationship with the elements and their influence on your life. Yeah. This is tickling your brain. Have you read my grimoire? We talk a lot about this kind of stuff. But I'm a chaos switch. And so the what things mean to me is really important. And everything that I do is significant in some way. And it's okay, Anna, if you haven't read my grimoire because I just rewrote the whole thing. I just rewrote it in the last like 3 weeks because of all the new information that we've gotten. Right. And we've done a lot in just the last like few months as a community. And the grimoire is an explanation of the path that we're walking so that we can like share this living tradition that we're doing. And yeah, I totally rewrote pretty much the whole thing. Like it'll sound familiar. And I didn't change, it's not that I didn't change any information. I dialed it in even more and took out anything that felt redundant. And it's good. Anyone who has purchased the digital copy of the grimoire will be getting this new edition for free. We're going to send it to you. Which I know that that's not something that you usually do in publishing, but I don't care. It feels better to give you the updated version. The updated version goes into the fact that we just founded a church, a matriarchal church. It goes into more of the coven, our international coven, and explains kind of what we're doing. So, card on the top of the deck represents where our attention needs to be today. The card on the bottom of the deck represents what we're in resistance to or in denial of that's blocking our ability to engage with whatever was on the top. Now, a little context. There is one card in my deck that has a crease in it. I don't remember how it got the crease, but it's there, and that's the card that we pulled. So Lisa and Stacy, we're submitting this new edition of the grimoire to Llewellyn and a couple of other publishing places because you guys are really wanting the like paper version of it. And I get that. I get it. We cater to neurodivergence. So accommodations were needed. The King of Wands reversed is what we drew. So, as you can see, there are prompts written on this card. So I'm going to read those prompts to you without influencing your interpretation of what this card means to you. So as I read this, ask yourself, if my guides were using this card to communicate something about a facet of my life that needs my attention, what are they talking about? All right. Why don't we tug on those reins a bit? You're being brash and abrasive, and your impulsive behavior is about to get you into trouble. There's certainly nothing wrong with knowing what you want, but you're towing the line of selfishness, and it's getting out of control. Reel it in. And the upright position says, the King of Wands is a natural-born leader of people and very capable and confident in their abilities. The king isn't interested in creativity per se, but rather taking an idea and enlisting others to help in the actualization of it. You have a clear vision of what you want. And so brew on that for a minute. I keep forgetting to take my glasses off. And so there's like always this reflection on the playback video. So what does that mean to you? This right now, and please, my astrology witches, back me up on this. Right now is the time to be making those big decisions and making those big changes and speaking your truth and doing what you really like. What are you here to do? Being real and being clear about it, right? But we have so much conditioning that tells us that being clear and concise and like taking action to engage with life in a way that we're proud of, that is selfish or wrong for us to do that. It's brash and it's like it's risky to do that. We have this resistance to it, right? And sometimes we are being assholes and we do need to like stop being so overbearing about it. Sometimes that is the case. This card is asking us to look at it. Is that the case? Are you being brash and abrasive? Because right now you believe that you are. And that's what's important. Do you believe that you are being selfish and impulsive and possessive or controlling? Do you believe that? If you believe it, let's look at that and see if that belief is rooted in your truth or rooted in your social conditioning, right? A projection of what you were taught that you should be or should do. Okay? Because now is the time to be making those decisions and to be looking at how you can actualize your vision, this thing that you're wanting to do. There are so many of us that have these visions and dreams of some kind of community centered uh, thing, like opening a coffee shop where witches can come and explore their practice, or opening a bookshop where witches can come and explore their practice, or starting a full moon group at the park where witches can explore their practice. This kind of, there's a theme going on, but this requires collaboration and cooperation. You're going to be doing whatever it is that you're wanting to do with other people. It's going to require others to bring it into fruition. And how you bring it into fruition matters. Okay? And that's another one of those layers of how we were taught to engage with these dreams. We're like, oh, we got to push through whatever the cost. No, the journey is as important as the outcome, right? Engage with people in a way that you're proud of. Build this foundation in a way that you are proud of. And if you need support, support is out there. Okay. Now we got to look at what we're in resistance to or in denial of that is kind of clouding our ability to really engage with this right here. The King of Swords upright. Look at us pulling different cards. And we sure do get in a not necessarily a rut, right? We do get, I think it's the guidance is very clear. And when we're not getting it, it comes back repeatedly. And it has been doing that for the last few months. So it's nice. We're getting a little variety. Like, yes, what we're getting is sharp and pointy. Okay, I should put my glasses back on. All right, so this is the King of Swords upright. I'm going to read this. Remember, this is what you're in resistance to or in denial of. The King of Swords is showing you that you are in command of your truth, and you stand to present yourself with confidence and conviction. Others respect you and pay close attention to what you have to say. The appearance of this card may also suggest that you may need a mentor, perhaps a financial advisor or a lawyer. And the reverse is, remember, the loudest one in the room is often the weakest one in the room. Be careful that you're not misusing your power. Be cognizant of the greater good and careful that you're not using your intellect to make others feel inferior. You may be feeling lost about your understanding or options in a situation as well. Be careful that you're not stagnant because progress can't happen when you're standing still. What does that mean to you? Yeah, that's great insight, Anna. Okay. This is giving me big vibes of like, you're already doing it. You're already doing it. Meaning, you're already capable and competent in being what you need to be to embrace this King of Wands, right? Energy. You already have it, but you are in resistance to or in denial of the fact that you already have it. So you're like insecure, you're having this like imposter syndrome thing kind of going on. You have the discipline, you have the mental clarity, you have the authority to do what you need to do. But that's scary, and I get that. So what do we got to do? What do we got to do? And a lot of times what we have to do is what I call a danger rush, where your brain is telling you something is dangerous because of your social conditioning, but it isn't actually dangerous. But your brain thinks that it's dangerous. And the only way to remedy this is to do it anyway, so that you can prove to your brain that it isn't dangerous. And with repetition, your brain stops signaling that it's dangerous. Okay? That is a very simple way of explaining neural pathway work. Relaying your neural pathways after trauma is what it is, right? And we have these danger rushes when we do things like wearing a onesie to the grocery store, right? That is risky behavior in some towns. And so we get this danger rush. Are you in danger? No, you're wearing a onesie to the grocery store. Who cares? If they care, it's their problem, right? But you have to do it over and over again in order to be comfortable and free enough to be able to do what you want like that. So the danger rush being even acknowledging, I have the tools I need to do this. I was born for this shit. I've been training my whole life for this. Right? People already come to me for this support. So all I got to do is just take it to the next step. And that taking it to the next step is the danger rush. Do it anyway. Do it scared. See what happens. Even if you're afraid that people are going to think that you are being abrasive and controlling or impulsive, right? If they think that, are you actually? If you are not actually, then that's a them thing, okay? So we're going to have a lot of do it scared over the next couple of months. Do it scared. It has to get done. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? Okay. Anna, yes. Yes and no. Yes and no. That's great. Okay. So let's talk about this actually. This is a really good example of the path of a witch born of shadow and how this is a bit different, right? So you experience panic attacks, right? First of all, panic attacks are a lot more than just that. And when you actually get into a relationship where you are allowing yourself to experience things, right? And approaching your panic attack with curiosity, right? Asking them their name, breathing through it, giving breaths as offerings, allowing that whole process, what you're learning in foundations, that exercise with your emotions, you can use with your physical sensations and experiences as well. And that process of you doing that, showing up over and over and over again for specifically your feelings of panic and feelings of fear, will it will change your relationship with fear. And instead of this resistance that you have to run away from it at all costs, you are comfortable sitting with that and it changes everything. So, yes, your panic attacks eh, have the potential to build you for this, for doing scary things. Mhm. I know. So that's like the kind of switch there. Instead of seeing yourself as a victim or um, that you are in some way broken because you are experiencing these panic attacks, you then not necessarily look forward to the next time you have a panic attack, but you see the next time you have a panic attack as an opportunity to understand yourself better, to understand what's going on there. Because a lot of times what we're experiencing isn't necessarily from us. You got to remember that we're super psychic too. We've got our clairs turned all the way up in many different ways, and we've never been taught the difference between an emotion, a physical sensation, and a reading, a spiritual reading that you're picking up on. So it just takes practice. That's what one of the things that the Unbound are doing with you in Foundations. It's helping you learn this. It's very layered. It has to be because of the way brains work. Because yes, we're witches, but there's a reason why we have so many clinicians and doctors and therapists and scientists involved in what we're doing at Bright and Dark Center, and also what we're doing with the Resource Project, because it's not all woo woo, guys. This is science. Okay. Yes, Stacy, it could also be. There's so many different things. Depression is another, like, thing that's bundled so much in modern mental health care, right? You're depressed. There's so much data there. There's so much information there that when you understand what you're experiencing and what's going on, it changes everything. Can you imagine not being resistant to what you're now experiencing as depression and what that would look like? How much is depression or anxiety influencing your relationship with your life right now? And I'm telling you that the way we were taught to engage with these things is what is binding you, and it just takes practice. Hi, Sharon. It just takes practice. Practice and support. Community also changes everything. You shouldn't have to do this by yourself and on your own. It is mind-boggling how conditioned we are. But the cool thing about how conditioned we are is that it's systematic. And if if you can see the system, if you can, just like in magic, guys, if you see how it was created, you can undo it. And so that's what we're doing, is undoing it. And the more witches that get involved with this, the more data points we get in understanding how we were conditioned as a whole. So it's a whole thing. Is that another wand drop, guys? Boom. I'm on one today. All right. That's our reading. I will be back tomorrow. I am really hoping that I'm not sunburnt. I have skin like the undead, and so I'm gonna be real careful. But I'm spending the whole day outside, trudging through the woods, gathering materials for the hugelkultur beds that we're putting in front of the farmhouse. The farmhouse, I live on an 80-acre homestead in a 200-year-old farmhouse with one of the other witches in my coven. And this is a rehabilitation and connection space for members of our coven. Our coven is an international group of witches who are dedicated to doing this work that I'm talking about, this internal work of unbinding ourselves so that we can actually live in community. And so that's what I'm doing today. I might be transplanting some tomato starts that I've got. Put the little seedling starts into their little bigger cups. Okay. Let's close out this working. So hand on your heart and take a deep breath. This working is now closing, but the magic has just begun. I humbly thank the elements and both the moon and sun. To all who chose to bless this flow, I now sincerely thank you. May our practice be expansive and our course be clear and true. All right. And remember, witches, if you can't be good at it. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.